Hello, Vijeta.
Good good to see you again. Huh?
Very good to see you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Jagat. Always a pleasure and delight. I think we are on live and the conversation anyway is recorded. So just a shout out to everyone who's going to be watching us. And it's always interesting, to talk to folks who are in the ecosystem. And of course, Jagat is also a time member. 9:30 in evening on a very auspicious day as well for us, isn't it? Sunday. Okay, Vijayadashmi. So,
Oh,
Jagat, I mean, fantastic to know about these new tools that you're introducing that will help founders, will help business owners. And yes, using video, using CRM tools, etc., is awesome. So, over to you, my friend. Let's see what you have to say for all of us. Thank you so much.
thanks, Vijeta. Wonderful. Wonderful to have you. And I'll keep this very, very short, probably 15, 20 minutes. I think just a small capsule. Sunday, I think everyone's kind of winding down the week and looking forward to next week. So, some food for thought, right? Just a small few pointers. Firstly, yes, it is Vijayadashmi. Wishing all the Indians a very, very happy Dasera. The spirit of Dasera is all about victory of good over evil. And I think more than ever before, now the time requires that there is the triumph over evil. And how this is going to happen, I believe, is that this is not going to magically come upon us. We have to make it. It has to be built. We have to create the opportunity. And as we look at how the world is moved towards this whole, remote sales, video enabled, communications, what's critical is that we look at what's next. Of course, video conferencing and webinars, we do products around these. Other large companies are doing very competitive products around these, but it is still open play. I don't think the business model around video has been established yet. But with what we are doing now, today, of course, is Vijayadashami, and it's a very, very auspicious day again. So I take up this opportunity to actually make three announcements today. Three brand new things that are coming out from our company, and this has again been built. We've been working on this for a while. The very first, in fact, I'll just share my screen, just very, very quickly run through some points. Then maybe Vijay, some quick couple of Q&A, and then we can break off for dinner. So here's the whole deal. Today is very, very simple. In fact, we just want to kind of collapse this. Today, everything is around the video business model. And what is this video business model? Let's look at the top part, which is there are two brand new ways to look at the customer today. And the very first is the remote customer. We were, in fact, on a previous webinar, I was also discussing with some other founders about the same thing. The customer was never the customer, unless it was a free product or it was a SaaS product where it was $5, $10, $20 a month. The customer was always in constant contact with the business, and that means face to face, in person contact most of the time. But that whole situation has changed today, thanks to the coronavirus situation. So we have a brand new customer. And what is the meaning of this customer? The customer is somebody who basically is a client of a business and is having some purchasing patterns. And so there are new patterns that are going to be built. Everything from the acquisition of that customer before they are customers, to qualifying them, becoming prospects, becoming leads, and then actually becoming customers, and then becoming long-term, high-value customers. So I think one is to understand this remote customer, the fact that you're never going to sit across the table right now with him in the foreseeable future, him or her, and all of this has to happen completely based on video. The second very important thing is the what we call the video for customer 360. And what we mean by customer 360 again is the whole concept where all the aspects of the customer's interaction with the business is being handled by video. Now, this might seem a very far-fetched idea, but already you will see that thanks to one, the coronavirus situation, and secondly also the great advancements in video communications that's happened over the past 1-2 years has been really exponential. So now the customer, not only is this customer completely remote, the second is that he can actually be catered to completely on live video. And that's what we can call this customer 360 model, video customer 360, which is basically the video customer experience journey for the customer, where before he is a customer, while he's becoming a customer, and then a happy customer after that, right? So from the customer side, we are seeing two things. One is that there is the existence of this remote customer that's become very prevalent now, and also that we have the tools to actually be able to address this remote customer very, very effectively. Now, for this to actually happen, we need to go beyond video conferencing and webinars. And for various reasons, I will not get into a big discussion on why the current video conferencing systems and the webinar systems are not good enough to actually enable a video customer experience. A couple of the very quick ones is, number one is that the customer needs to download the application. The second being that it's not happening on your branded profile. It's not happening on your designated URL, like a permanent email ID or a permanent phone number. There is no permanent video link or a video address still, except for VidPhone. So customer external communications really depends on how easily can a customer call you or talk to you. So that we have to think beyond, and only then can we actually reach these bigger kind of answers. So the first part I would say is to move beyond conferencing and webinars. Now, what would this be, right? It's not only about a conferencing room and having a webinar setup. It's really about having those right integrations at the customer touch points that matter. Let's say that you're doing an outreach, and typically you're doing a webinar today to do an outreach. You're attracting new customers. These are not talking to your existing customers. Now, the moment you speak to them, what's critical is that not only are you capturing their email that many webinar solutions may have, but to actually do a lot more with that data, and to actually do a lot more with that customer's periodic interactions with you. I think that's what nurtures the customer. Now, you're no more able to nurture the customer at a trade show or at an event or at any other way, right? Or in your office. You can only address them completely via video. Of course, you can do email and phone, but video is, of course, by far the most effective today. And I think that's been proven by the growth of all these companies, including the massive growth that we have seen in our user base. So I think what's critical is to think beyond video conferencing and webinars, but you have the right integrations, SDKs, things like your live chat widget. You have unique, permanent meeting rooms. Permanent meeting rooms enable something that's very, very important that replicates real life. And this I call what we call, impromptu conversations or spontaneous meetings. Understand that every time you do a video conference, it has to be planned, it has to be scheduled either by WhatsApp or phone or email. Now that does not make, that's one of the reasons why the existing models of video communications for customers is broken, is because you cannot have a direct conversation without it being preceded by, let's say, a WhatsApp or an email. But in the case of a phone call or an email, that does not happen. So we look to address that by having a permanent and a video authentication layer where, vidphone.me/Jagat or vidphone.me/room/Jagat. Now, these are my designated rooms. Anytime you want to meet me, this is where we'll be. So every salesperson, every customer support executive, all of them would do, just like they have a phone number or an email address, tomorrow they will have to have a VidPhone link, which will be their interface for the customers. This is on the first part. We'll get into all these in the subsequent weeks in a lot more detail. The second is the most revolutionary, and this is the first announcement that we are making. We are probably the world's #1 video CRM. And why is this so important? As I said before, today the whole customer experience and customer relationship has completely gone 180 degrees flip, where you cannot even see your customer face to face. So the whole customer journey, the customer touch points, their engagements, how they're going to be catered over their lifetime, all of this has to be reimagined around video. We've been working with some select partners and taking a lot of insights on how they're running the business, how they use VidPhone and other video tools to be able to do the one thing that matters for them, which is increase the customer base and improve the customer experience. All of the existing CRM solutions are not suited for the video business model or video first businesses. Now, this is a huge opportunity, because if we just look at how much of an impact, let's say, CRM solutions have had worldwide in terms of customer experience, I think that's that's very, very small compared to what's going to happen with video CRM. The next 5 years of business are going to, I would say that 80 to 90% of all business happening globally will be happening on video platforms in the next 3 to 5 years. And the most important tool for a business to actually implement a good customer journey using live video, that is, be it video conferencing, be it webinars, be it integrations, be it other one-click video. What's critical is that all of this is managed with your video CRM. Video CRM is now available to select VidPhone users right in their dashboard. And that's something amazing that we are doing today. Of course, these are the early stages of video CRM. We are working completely first principles on this. What would a community manager or a salesman or a sales manager want to look at when their sales team is running this whole video-driven sales process? This is the kind of questions that we ask. And I think the answers, of course, we have launched a very, very initial version now, but I think we have already started updating it very fast. A lot of feedback as well as, a lot of feedback coming in as well. So I think video CRM is going to be central to every single business in the next 3 to 5 years. And we at VidPhone are extremely delighted with the help and the co-creation aspect of our startup ecosystem here in Bangalore. We are probably the world's #1 video CRM. This is announcement number 1. Now I move on to the second big announcement of today. VidPhone is launching the world's first VMail. And VMail means video mail. I won't talk too much about this. We are still under works. There are a few pieces of the puzzle that we are fixing, but we are very, very optimistic that very soon people will be able to send VMail as easily and way more effectively than they send email. And the most important thing about VMail is that VMail is going to play a very important role in the whole video CRM experience and the platform. And now I would make my very, very last announcement for today. We are calling it DesiStore. What is DesiStore? DesiStore is India's very first own app store. DesiStoreorg. We are right now live. We're extremely excited that finally India has a democratic, transparent, and affordable app store of its own. Why DesiStoreorg? I just want to spend a very short time here explaining why we are doing this. Of course, we believe in the power of the Indian app ecosystem. And we do believe that there are certain areas where there are a lot of improvements that are possible very quickly. However, if this whole Indian app store is purely run for profit, and when I mean by profit, I mean a certain company that's running this, you will never have the democracy, the freedom, or the liberty that you had with the World Wide Web or the internet. I'm talking of internet on the web, on laptop and desktops, versus how you access the internet on your mobile devices. So we have DesiStore.org, which is a not just for profit organization. And this will be run along with a lot of experts. We are looking at a lot of partners who are going to be part of this council, and it's a democratic council. And most importantly, this is suited for the Indian audience. It is for the Indian app developers, it is by the app developers, and this is for all the Indians. Of course, we are not saying that this is going to be only for Indians forever. We do believe in a completely open and a transparent and a fair app store ecosystem, not only in India, but globally. However, our focus right now, considering the fact that there are a lot of businesses in India who have certain interest in having some alternatives, we are very, very happy to launch DesiStore.org, India's very first app store. So there are 3 big announcements from VidPhone on this auspicious occasion of Vijayadashami. The very first being video CRM, the second being VMail, and the third being DesiStoreorg. With that said, I want to keep this very, very short and I want to wrap up. Maybe some quick questions from my friend Vijeta, and happy to answer any questions at all.
Hey, thanks so much, Jagat. It's really nice. Obviously, I will come to you from the ecosystem enabler, type Bangalore. We want to understand what this means for startups who need to globe and want to grow. And remote sales is very important, Jagat. Hmm? In fact, the last few webinars that I've been doing, and we've been doing, you know that you have also been part of the B2B Sales Academy. We have been talking about this with other founders and other enablers as well, not just in Bangalore but beyond. How do we bring ecosystems together from Sri Lanka, from SARC, or wherever it is, right? So a couple of things that I would like to, kind of point out and also take some input from you is that we definitely need to make sure that its affordability is very important. You are a startup, you're an entrepreneur, you need to make some money. That's very clear. Number one, a lot of this is about education. So I think one of the things that I would always request you is that prepare some simple snippets, some short video bites, etc., which you can put out, which will help the founders and small business owners anywhere they are. It can beyond Bangalore and beyond wherever it is. They should be able to learn and use this very very quickly as a user, very very fast. Okay. So what do you think about that? How do you think you're going to slowly start? I think you put it down snippets, educating founders. And how do you think we should be doing this? I'm happy to help you out with that as well.
Thanks so much, Priya. Thank you for that support. I think number one is that as a company, one of the things that we have realized today, and we've always kind of realized it, but it's been reinforced over the past few months, is that we always build long-term relationships with our customers. And we never look at, even though a SaaS may be a very small ticket item, we don't look to say that can that customer come pay us $5 or $10. That we never look at business this way. So the number one thing is that all of these things happen over time with the founders. And as the founders engage with us, and we as a company offer way more than just a product company. We offer our services. I think all our customers know of the very high level of customer support that we have. And what's also very important is that we also have, and we also give them access to the wonderful ecosystem that we are building, of course, along with your help and your support. So all this together in the next 3 to 6 months, I'm confident that a lot of the startups, not only it's not about us dictating certain ways of doing things. What we do best is that we take technology, we build it in a brand new way, we take first principles approach, and we understand and say, hey, what's the easiest way to do video conferencing? We don't say, should you download an app? Should you do some meeting ID? No. The way we think about it is, how do I make a phone call? I click a button. How do I make an email? I send a button. And that's as simple, and that's how we built Witphone. You just come to my link and you click a button. It's as simple as that. And that's the most important. Our goal is also to make sure, yes, that the customers have extreme ease of use. And if you look at our CRM, it's going to happen. But more importantly, we have documentation that's coming up on the website. We're going to have some introductory videos and some tutorial videos. That's going to make it very easy to be able to understand the interface. And most importantly, our weekly webinars and our sessions are a place where anybody can come. They can ask us any question about our product, and we are happy to engage and to take feedback and to iterate on that.
Fantastic, Jagat. I think, and it's really nice. And of course, we had also said that we'll keep it short. So we're actually exactly 20 minutes into this. So looking forward to this infographics, is how-tos and the tutorials, because I think that will make a big world of difference. And since we are also, many of us are operating remotely for a very long time, it may be continuing like this for many more months. And for me also, I would love to bring more founders into this conversations, because they need this support, right? Entrepreneurs need to grow, they need to create employment, they need to make profits, and hopefully, of course, you also will have to make your money. But everyone comes together, and we can do some exciting things, and that's what really matters. So thank you so much, Jagat. Video CRM, video mail, and even the DC store. I think these are some very important critical elements. And more power to the entrepreneurs and ecosystem, Jagat. That's all that matters, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
We just discussed a little while ago. Of course, there is a lot of, one is that we can, as founders, that we can give a lot of moral support to each other.
Yeah.
I believe, and we as a startup, our mission is to go beyond moral support. Ours is to actually provide the technology and the know-how and to go from 0 to 1. And we give you the starting free of cost. You can implement the model, you can make it work, and then you can come and actually, look at the paid plans.
Yes. I think that makes so much of sense, Jagat. Okay, and you know what really I like about the fact that you are a small team, but you're trying to do a lot of things, and it's also important that you're building the community, Jagat. So that's why I would love to support more people like you, and that's what matters.
I
But
think the
thank you, sir. Let's.
very quick note on that, that you mentioned. One is that we believe that we are doing a very, very small role. All we're doing is giving the platform. And of course, we see the idea and got the concept. But hats off, number one, to you for such a fantastic job. And also to all the wonderful founders who actually come, and every event is actually, I feel that it's actually getting better. And I think it's all credit to the founders and to you. And I think you're doing such a fantastic job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And as you know, let's keep doing some really nice things for the ecosystem,
Yeah.
and more power to all you folks. Thank you so much, Jagat, and of course, happy Vijayadashmi to everyone. It's a festival that is celebrated all over the world. It's very auspicious, and may the tribe and power of all your entrepreneurs and startups grow. Yes, and look, I also work with a lot of large enterprises, Jagat. So I think collaboration, open innovation, co-creation,
Yeah.
that's the way forward. We all have to exist within this ecosystem and survive, thrive, make money, and come out of all the crises with our heads held high. And take care, my friend. All the very best.
Thank you so much for taking the time and have a wonderful Sunday evening. Thanks, everyone,
Take
and
care.
have a wonderful week coming
Yes.
ahead.
Bye bye. Cheers. Good night.